Okay.
Sure, good. We got a camera here. All right, Coach, again, thank you for joining us. Kyle Howard here with Jennifer Roos, the head basketball coach for BGSU women's basketball team. How are you doing, Coach?
Good to be here. Thanks for coming in, Kyle.
Good. Thank you for sitting down with me today. I wanted to ask you first where your passion for basketball came from.
Well, I was an only child, and it was something fun for me to participate in after-school athletics, and the school that I attended allowed that to start as early as 5th grade. So we started doing things at that level, and then it naturally progressed all the way through my senior year, but was really influenced by not only my teachers, who some of them were my coaches as well, but the group that I matriculated through from middle school to high school was a fantastic group of athletes as well, not only guys and girls, and it was a really competitive environment, and everybody wanted to be their best, and it was fun ever since 5th grade on.
Sure, and that being in Louisville, Kentucky, and you also had a background obviously at Davidson before you came to Bowling Green State University, and while you were there you played field hockey, also lacrosse there. Did you play that in high school also when you were back in Louisville?
No, just played field hockey and basketball and softball and golf in high school, and then went on and earned a scholarship for field hockey at Davidson, and then was on that team for 4 years, and with basketball and lacrosse at Davidson. They both started as club programs and transitioned into Division I programs before I graduated. So every semester I was busy, but that is all I had known from growing up, so I didn't think of it as being odd or anything out of the ordinary.
Yes, and why basketball then? You said you had a little bit of experience playing there as a club sport, then moved into varsity after that. Why basketball, and why do you pursue a career in basketball?
Small world. My high school coach became my college coach at Davidson, and I was actually at Davidson before he got the job. So it was a great fit because I knew what type of coach he was, and I knew his expectations on and off the floor, and it was just a fantastic fit. And he has been a mentor for me in high school as well as through my playing days at Davidson, but then also I was fortunate enough to work for him after graduation, and it's just been a big influence in my life.
Would you say is the reason why you pursued coaching?
He's one of them. I had a lot of teachers and coaches throughout my middle school days and my high school days that I was extremely fond of, and taught me a lot of great life lessons, and taught me the importance of giving back, and I think that's kind of how it all fell into place.
And what would you say is the most rewarding part about coaching?
Watching the growth that kids have coming in as a young girl at 17 or 18, and then transitioning into a young adult and leaving college at 21 or 22. And I think there's some extremely influential years, but there's a significant amount of growth that goes on between that age, and it's fun to see. You learn a lot of things, and you learn not only life lessons, but you go through a lot of games, and you really get to define who you are, and watching that growth is very rewarding.
Sure. And a little bit of an interesting career path starting here. You get hired on as an assistant coach under Kurt Miller. You were here for a number of years as an associate head coach while you were here also, and then you take on the head coaching job and start around January, and you really get that kind of a role in a weird circumstance, an unfortunate circumstance where Kurt Miller has a stroke and you come into this situation. Walk me through the range of emotions that were going on when you heard about that. Obviously, the stroke was a tough deal, and then obviously getting your first head coaching job at that point too.
It was, we were first in the East playing a rival who was first in the West Division. We were playing extremely well. It was a competitive game, and we were winning, and I look over next to me, and my boss says he does not have any feeling in his right arm or right leg, and can't see either. So I had started to walk him out, and he refused to leave. So we joke about that still to this day, but we finished the game, and he was headed to the emergency room thereafter, and really fortunate that he was able to figure out what it was. The unfortunate part was that diagnosis didn't come right away, but he received a correct diagnosis later on, and was able to change some things to avoid that happening again. But missed a couple games, and I did have to step in that interim role and played up at Central Michigan, and then had a home game here, and it was tough against Northern Illinois, because you're worried about him, but then you want to keep things going forward and moving forward in a positive direction, because we all anticipated him being back, but we were unsure at the time. So it was an experience that I'd never been in before as a coach.
Sure.
Or as a friend, having someone go through that, or seeing your players in your program watch someone go through that as well. So we were all unsure of what was going on, but we tried to deal with it the best we can. And unfortunately, we went 2-0 in that time frame, and he came back for our game against Western Michigan at home, and it was very, very fortunate that it could not have been, because it could have been a lot worse.
Would you say that Kurt Miller's been a big influence in your coaching career?
He has, for sure. I've been at Davidson with one boss, and then now Coach Miller as my second boss in this profession. And throughout over my 20 years of coaching, you have a lot of influences, not only that are you see on a daily basis, but that are in your profession, that are either peers, at other institutions in your same role, or in roles above you as well. So you want to take as much information as you can from as many people as you can to help create and solidify the identity you want to have as a coach.
And one of your players this year, Miriam Justner, is actually nominated for an award regarding possibly coaching going forward as well. What advice would you have to give to someone young that wants to go into coaching?
Not to get into it. That's the honest truth. Told her she needs to do something else. But so after we sat down and talked about that, she still wants to move forward. So it's a great opportunity for her to become immersed in a coaching environment of learning from others in this profession in a short window at the women's Final Four. So you want to be a coach. She will have a cohort with her, and that they will continue to stay in touch and go forward from there. But it's a lot of information in a short period of time, and she'll get a good feel of what's expected, and it's an opportunity for her to network and find out how much she really is interested in it.
Sure. Well, thank you very much for your time, Coach. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kyle.